JC, Viking, how you guys doing? Good to see you. Oh, what's everybody up to? What's going on? How are we? Yeah, I'm just hanging out in the garage. The wife and the daughter, or the wife and the daughters all ran off to go do stuff. So here I am. So, how is everybody? It's just me and Chewbacca out here, and then the puppies are in the house doing God knows what. I I did install Open Centauri on this one. Um, However, this one still has the stock firmware. This one has Open Centauri. I haven't really installed anything or done anything with it. So not really, like I said, not really 100% sure on it yet. I got to install some more stuff and do some more things with it. But I did want to see how not difficult it is to install Open Centauri. It's become insanely easy. Uploaded 2 shorts today in the last 2 hours. Nice. Well, JC, remember, content is king. Get as much content out there as you can. If you do like 2 or 3 shorts a day and you get them up, things to remember. Don't just, I'm terrible at it, so don't take my advice, or like take my advice. Don't take me at what I do. But yeah, Viking, here I am. Sorry, I did click start the stream, but not go live. So I sat here and I'm like, MTB Matt, what's going on, Matt? Good to see you. But just a bit of advice. Remember, like a morning upload, an afternoon upload, and like an evening upload. If you're going to do 3 times a day, try to pick like if you pre-record your shorts instead of just like make one and upload it. But like if you pre-record some stuff and keep it in the back burner, and then put them out there, Yeah, speaking of Viking, there is a little ticker in there now to have people go check out Tinker Atlas. If people don't know what Tinker Atlas is, they need to go check it out and consider joining Tinker Atlas or Tinker Atlas Plus. Yeah, you can join Tinker Atlas Plus for, a couple of Starbucks a month. You can be a proud sponsor or proud supporter of Tinker Atlas and become an Atlas Plus member. So there's always that. And then, of course, the founding members tiers. You got your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum tiers. If you want to make lifetime contribution of $10 to $24, get your bronze, $25 to $99, $100 to $149 for gold, and then $500 plus for platinum. You get the platinum badge or whatever, But currently, I don't have the screen share going just yet. Give me a second here. I'll share my screen and show you guys where he's at currently. Let me jump back over here and go like this, and there we go. He's got 140 of the $335 currently needed, resets in 16 days. But yeah, you can become a supporter by clicking there. Gives you the option to extend your posts, get 10 images, so you get a couple extra images. So, there's that option. And then here you go. You got this handsome fella right here with a nice little statement. And then there's the monthly cost breakdown. He's got $140 for infrastructure, and then dev tools is $200 a month. And then give or take 300 plus month minimum to help keep the lights on and development moving. If you want to join Tinker Atlas Plus, it's $100 for the year. If you want to get a lifetime, it's $149 once. I know this one right here is usually a pretty good buy if you can get in there. The only thing is I'll be honest with you guys. This is where we're at. Let me come back here. $149 helps Viking out now with Tinker Atlas. It's a one-time thing. He knows he's got the money in the bank. He is set. But if you can do the $99 a year, that lets him know yearly that he will have that returning revenue. So just keep that in mind. If you want to help him one way or the other, feel free to do that. It's not a difficult thing if you do it that way. If you do the monthly, it is $9.99 a month or $99 for a year. The yearly, obviously, you get a little better deal because when you pay annually, you get 2 months for free, which makes your monthly $8.25 when you pay yearly. But I believe that is like a first time thing, right, Viking? Or is it just $99 a year, reoccurring yearly $99? And then you get the 2 months free every year. So you basically pay for 10 months. So you can adjust the monthly too. Nice. But yeah, 99 is the year ongoing. Okay, so yeah, so for basically $100 a year or $8.25, which is like one Starbucks. For those of you who go to Starbucks, you spend more than that on a coffee. So skip a coffee and help Viking out once. Nine. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cheaper than Starbucks to help support Viking and what he's doing with Tinker Atlas. So consider it. I mean, I know, where am I at here? Sorry, guys, I'm a little all over the place today. My brain is a little malfunctioning, but means that I may already be a Tinker Atlas Plus guy, just throwing that out there. I may already have the cool badge. So if anybody's wondering, you get this cool little badge right here. This is Tinker Atlas Plus when you support Vikings. So consider doing so. May also be a founding supporter, maybe because I'm awesome and Viking's awesome, and you all need to join Tinker Atlas. Makers need a safe place to find one another without all the extra headache and confusion. So consider it. For those that use Ko-Fi or PayPal options, you'll still add them to the to Tinker Atlas or the TA Plus membership. Nice. Just have to do it manually. Yeah. So if anybody were to send him, if joining through the site wasn't a thing you wanted to do, you could definitely come over here and either buy him a coffee or use PayPal, send him, $100, $150, and bam, he'll go ahead and put that in there for you. So keep that in mind. But you got right here, Honest Guide to Supporting Tinker Atlas. He's got the little breakdown here in the article. So if we click here, so you got these sweet little articles that he writes and others. And I mean, if you have something cool that maybe you wanted to get featured out there, you could always type something up, write something up, and then submit it to him. And then, he can look it over. And if it's something he thinks aligns with Tinker Atlas and the site, he can put it out there. And then you'd be, how do I say this nicely? If any of you are looking for, I want to say that I am a published author of an article somewhere, you could have that little, check that off the box. So if there's something in the community that you are excited about that you don't see too many people talking about, write the article, send it to Viking, say, hey, I think this might be cool for the site. He'll peruse it, and if it feels like, if it's something that aligns with Tinker Atlas, your article might appear on the website. So keep that in mind. That's the nice part about Tinker Atlas is it's still small enough and there's still enough going on that you still have a direct line to the guy who's doing all the back end, and you have that ability to talk to him and say, hey, if you would. And I will say this right now, okay? I'm gonna say this right now. If you submit something with the hey, maybe you should, not hey, you have to, because remember, if you start demanding things, you're just going to get overlooked. So be courteous. If you have an idea, be courteous. Yeah, JC, likes are great, but for the most part, we all doom scroll and we don't click the like button. You know that, you're guilty of it too. You don't watch a video and then hit like and then flip and then like and then flip and then like and then flip and then like. You don't do that. We all doom scroll. So that view counter is the important part. And when you look at YouTube on the back end, YouTube does tell us that for every million or 10 million views, that's what you're looking for. So when you get to the point where you're getting a million or 10 million views, there you go. But you just got to keep making that content, putting it out there, and more people will hopefully start liking it while they're viewing it. So keep that in mind. Just put it out there, man. Get them views. I mean, I tell everybody all the time, you can't just keep chasing for the most part, you don't want artificial numbers, because that will just bite you in the ass in the end, and you could potentially lose your channel. Get real numbers. So for those who get like bots and stuff like that involved, you'll have a great channel, you'll have all these views and all this and that and everything else, but you have no user interaction. When you have 10,000 people watching your stream and only 3 people talking in stream, people know those are bots. It's not that hard to figure out. So grow your channels naturally, put out your content, make the stuff that makes you happy. You will find like-minded individuals that want that same thing. You know, they want to view that same content that you're putting out because they have the same, your views and values align. So that's what you're looking for. To a lot of people who've gotten lucky and their channels have blown up overnight, I'm not sure how they do it. Don't ask me on that one. I can just tell you that my lovely little channel here, again, let me go to studio. Let me look at my back end here real quick. Yeah, I'm at 2265. This channel's been around since 2020, I believe, is when I made this channel. So in 6 years now of having this channel, because I think it was in January, maybe, I might be wrong, but I think it was in early 2020 when I did this. This channel's gotten 2265. I'm happy with that. People who grow slowly, like here's where the disconnect is. If you have a channel that pops off and takes off, you tend to either, you know, have what you need to continue to roll at that rate, or your channel starts to fizzle off. If your channel slowly grows over time, you have the ability to grow with your channel and get to know your audience, get to know the people, know the audience, things like that. So for people whose channels just pop off overnight, they tend not to last. But the people who grow a channel and work hard, or you're just some jackass with a webcam and a microphone sitting here, you'll slowly build up an audience. I've got, again, 2265. So 2,265 subscribers. There's currently 5 people viewing. So again, my numbers are not crazy great. I'm sure at some point as the evening goes on and as I stream, because I've only been at it for 20 minutes, you guys know it's usually about the 1 hour, 1.5 hour mark is when the numbers start to like really jump up. So as my streams go on, the numbers go up. At some point, I would love to be able to start making actual like content, you know, real valuable content. We'll see how that goes, but for right now, live streams is just the format I'm comfortable with. It's click, go, and I like that. The whole like setting up shots and recording and then stopping and then setting up for a different shot and recording and then setting up for a different shot and recording, or setting up one whole series of shots and then going in and cutting that up and then importing those shots in the order in which you need to put them in. I'm not a good storyboard guy. Howie, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But like I said, I'm not a storyboard guy. So being able to put up a storyboard and say we're going to shoot this, and this while we have this set up, and then we're going to shoot this, and this while we have this set up, and then we're going to shoot this, and this, and then I'm going to pull all that footage in, and then I'm going to break these all up, and then I'm going to stagger all of these in the proper order, and then, you know, if you mess something up when you watch your final cut, then you got to go in and pull that part out, recut, you know, film a new part, so you got to reset up, and then film that, and then add that back in. I just kind of like when I do my live, like if I screw up, you see the mistake. You learn from my mistakes, so hopefully you don't make said mistake. The problem with content like this is there's usually a lot of padding or fluff that people don't want to watch, don't want to see. So somebody won't sit through a 2-3 hour live stream looking for the important part that they need. So you have a kid looking for pocket money? Well, Howie, if I had pocket money to offer, I would consider that. But if anybody else has video editing they need done, hit up Howie. Let him know that his kid's got work and he needs to get to it. You like the live streams because you can showcase your glowing humor? Yeah. Yeah, the live streams are nice for me, maybe not for everyone. Like I said, my format is not everyone's format. I'm not for everyone. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not out to make everyone happy. These live streams are just more or less a bit of a guilty pleasure or a bit of a selfishness because I get to hang out with you guys, talk to you guys. Sometimes we work on printers. Most of the time I just talk to hear myself talk. And in the end, you guys go on to something more entertaining or something with more value, and that tends to be the day. But I can tell you guys that when it comes to flashing Open Centauri on the Centauri Carbon, they've gotten to that point now where it is like legitimately you download the firmware, copy it to the SD card, you bring up a file, you hold down and tell it to import. Once it imports, it reboots and you're done. It's that easy now. It's not like it used to be when I originally looked into it, where you have to go to your computer and then you have to connect to the printer and then you have to send something to the printer and then you're able to then go ahead and flash something. Now it's as simple as here's a G-code file that you import. Once you import it, it'll say then you can do this and you can run the install from web. You tell us to do install from web and it's done. I mean, realistically, if I cleared off the table here, we could flash this one with Open Centauri in I think it's like a 15-minute process. That's not something I'm ready to do yet. I'm still playing around with that one. I want to get my bearings with it a little bit more and see if there's really any crazy, this is better, By the way, Built Robot, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Editing is expensive. If it's done right, it takes hours to do properly. You're a smart guy. Easy to listen to. Sometimes, Howie, sometimes. The thing, I think the biggest thing with me, how do I say something? I'm not trying to sound like conceited or narcissistic or anything like that. I'm not trying to come off as anything, but I guess the thing with me is I speak more common, like common when I speak with people. So I'm not talking in like big tech terms. I'm not using big tech terminology. I understand what's going on. I understand what's being said or what needs to be done. And for the most part, I know how to speak it to people, or at least I used to. I maybe not so much now that I'm getting older and more forgetful, but I'm able to speak to people in a more common language that's understood, and I'm not talking in like big technical terms. Relatable. There we go. I'm more of a relatable person. Thank you, Howie. See what I mean? Like, I'm not wording well tonight. So, but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with me. And I've been told that I don't look like your average IT guy. I mean, I got glasses. What more do you want? You would feel for anyone that relates to you. Bob, I relate to you. Do you feel for me? Does someone actually feel for me? I got a wife and daughters at home right now. My boys are all grown and gone, and I have a couple daughters at home. I am at a huge disadvantage. So, just saying. I took my wife and daughters to dinner tonight, and yeah, I'm the butt of all the jokes. And since I guess I'll tell you guys something. I we got some news, and so some people, I will. This is weird because it's one of those things. It's like I don't know if I'm ready to talk about the thing that I said I would have to wait till February to talk about. You don't think there's a typical look to IT? Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when I first got into IT, uh, just to kind of stray back over to when I got into IT, your IT guys were always like polo shirts, khaki pants, and like fancy shoes, glasses, hair kept. Um, and I came into it in polo shirts, jeans, tennis shoes, and sometimes my hair is good, sometimes my hair is bad. Digital Dragon, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope the shop is coming along nicely. Been catching your little videos you've been putting out on the shop. Looks like a place I want to come visit and hang out. So maybe one day I'll come hang out at the shop if I can get some time to make a road trip. But I kind of burned all my vacation time on my winter Christmas break. So yeah, I don't know that Murph and Rocky Mountain and Midwest are going to be in the cards this year because I don't know if I'm going to have time available to go. I kind of burnt it all up. But I guess let me get back to the thing that I'm having a hard time telling you guys because I need you guys to understand some things. Um, but my lovely mouthy 16-year-old daughter that comes out here all the time and likes to, drive everybody nuts with all the craziness. She informed us before Christmas that she is now with child. So I have another grandbaby coming. My 16-year-old daughter is with child. Uh, that's not a bad thing for us. We are okay with that. Um, I mean, do we wish that it would have been a little later in life? Yes, but we cannot change that is. So rather than spend all this time dwelling on, what we wanted, it's what it is. So, very, very, I'm going to be a pappy again. So I'm going to have another little one running around. This one will be living with us for, the next year and a half. So yeah. Oh, you guys are talking about Digital Dragon's Wall. Yes. But yeah, so right now as it stands, it's looking like August. We don't have um, anything set in stone yet. Here in Illinois, and I'm not sure if this is all over the U.S. or not, but here in Illinois, um, at least around us, we found out that she was pregnant. She told us as actually kind of the middle of December. She found out and came home and told us. Um, and then, of course, you get to the doctor and do the official, like through the hospital test, did that, and then got in touch with um, the OB and all that stuff. And they're, they did uh, they did a virtual meeting. I don't know if everybody's doing this or if it's just over here, some weird thing, but they did like a virtual meeting with her about half hour, 45 minutes, answer family history questions, stuff like that, and then set up an appointment for the ultrasound and some genetics testing and stuff like that. That's coming up. Ultrasound is Tuesday, so we'll get to. My wife is taking her, so we'll get some pictures of the baby blueberry. We've been calling it baby blueberry. So we'll get some pictures of baby blueberry because right now baby's about the size of blueberry. So we'll get some pictures of baby blueberry, and then yeah, and kind of go from there. I mean, it's one of those things. Like we are excited. Like I said, I mean, do we wish that it would have been later on? Yes. Do we wish that they would have made different choices at that time? Yes. Can we change it? No. So to any parents who are like completely pissed at their kids because this happens, and they go off the rails and they want to threaten to end someone's life over this, my comment to you is, uh, why? Uh, don't be dumb. Like, kids who have both parents usually tend to have a better upbringing than those who have one or the other. So keep that in mind. Um, Howie, yeah, yeah, I'm in Illinois. I live south of 80 and west of 39. Exactly. I mean, I could be angry and pissed off at this boy, but prior to that, he was good to my he's been good to my daughter. He treats my daughter well. He takes care of her. He's nice to her. He's all the things you would want a young man at his age, you would want for your daughter when she was older and you wanted her to be dating. He is all of those things now. uh, he goes to school, he is very focused, he works a lot, he's a farm boy, he was very old school raised, he gets out of the vehicle and opens the door for her, and he tolerates the crazy that is her. I love her, but you've all heard her talk, you all know she's a little unhinged like her mama. So he uh he is very good to her. So um why would I why like I said, he wasn't the only one that partook in the activities that led to that. Therefore, I cannot be angry at just him. If I were to be angry, instead I would rather support them, let them know that Pappy's here. If they need something, I will be here to help. um and just remind them that we will help, but that's it. We will help. This is a choice you two made, and you went from being teenage kids wanting to have fun to now you have a responsibility and you will take care of it. So yeah. So yes, exactly, Howie, exactly. So, but like I said, he's a hardworking young guy. He keeps his nose to the grindstone for the most part. He is 17 and he does tend to want to hang out with the boys, and do, things with his buddies. Teenagers these days are weird. I've noticed, like, not even just teenagers, like dating now. I could never do dating now. Like, when I was dating, like, when you got with somebody, you were with that person and you wanted to spend your time with them and be with them, and you looked for excuses to constantly be together. And like, these kids now, like, my oldest boy, him and his girlfriend, they live in separate apartments, have for, a year now, 2 years now, they've lived in separate apartments. And with their work schedules, they only see each other like on the weekends. Like on the weekends is when they see each other. Otherwise, they're both working, so they don't see each other during the week, and they only live 15 minutes apart. To me, that's weird. Like me, I'm in a relationship. I'm with that person. My friends, we'll hang out with their friends, my friends, together. We do things together. We're always together. But these kids today, man, when they date, they're like, "Hey, I'm doing me, you're doing you. When we're available to hang out, we hang out." Ender 3 Neo for sale, any takers. So JC, you definitely like your Centauri Carbon, I see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Bob. I'm kind of with you there, bud. Like, if something happened to Sam, if like if something happens to Sam, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I got the kids. I'll have the grandbabies. I'm done. I got dogs. I got cats. I got you guys. I'm done. Go to work. Come home from work on the computer. Hang out with you guys, the grandbabies, the kids, the puppies, the kittens. That's it. I'm not. I'm not getting back in the dating pool. Ain't happening. Like, she is everything, and when she's gone, I'm done. Like, I got my grandbabies, I will spend time with them, I will do whatever I can for them, and that's that. Dude, Howie, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I became a dad at 20. My oldest boy, I was 20 when he was born. Uh, I turned 21 a month later. So I was a young dad, and I guess to give you guys a little more background on me, I first one was born when I was 20. He was born in December of my, and my birthday is in January. So he was born in December, born in January, or I was born in January. So he was born, I turned 21. At the end of the year, he turned 1. So we've always been, you know, almost 2 years, like almost 21 years apart in age, just because of me being born at the front, him being born at the end. But um, when my first marriage fell apart, the boys stayed with me. I raised my boys. I was going to work a second shift job from 3 to 11, so the boys would be with my mother at night. And then I would get off of work at 11 o'clock, pick them up, bring them home, put them to bed. And then I would crash out, get up, take the boys to school or get them off to school in the mornings. And then I would take a nap, get up, go to work. And that was the routine for quite a while. And then uh, Lee Marie 3D, Mrs. Lee Marie 3D, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, then, marriage number 2 came along. We had our daughter Avery, and yeah, I mean, that one, same thing. Marriage fell apart. Avery stayed with me. I had Andrew, Zach, Dominic, Avery, and Sam and her 3 girls came into the picture. So then I had Sam and the 3 girls come into the picture. And yeah, I've always been a dad. I've always had my kids. I've always been around my kids. Um, Granted, Zach did move out. My middle son moved back in with his mom for a little while and then moved back home. But then my youngest son moved in with his mom instead. So one came home, one left. But it's always like right up at the end. My youngest daughter moved back in with her mom here, like beginning of last year. So she's been living with her mom, and we get her every other weekend now. So I've always had the kids around, and as the kids move out and move on, it does feel a little empty in the house, but I know that the kids, this is where my brain and my wife's brain are 2 separate brains. I don't want to say man brain, girl brain. I'll just say my brain and my wife's brain, because I'm not here to, have people in my comment section with their pitchforks. But like my brain is, they're going to grow up and they're going to move out and they're going to go be their own individual people. And my wife is like, they need to stay home and I need to protect them from the world and everyone. So, but I kind of know that. My history reads similar to yours. Yeah, Howie, hey, I mean, there are some dads that want to be dads, and then there are some dads that want to be dads. Or there are want to be dads and then want to be dads. And I wanted to be a dad. When first son was born, I was all in. That was my boy. 2 o'clock in the morning, up in the night, feeding him, holding him in the rocking chair. He's like this, bottle right here, and I'm just rocking, watching a movie, and I'd fall asleep like this with him. Like I'd burp him and stuff and just hold him, and then he'd fall asleep and I'd fall asleep, and then my ex-wife would come out and take him out of my arms, put him in bed, and be like, go to bed, and I'd go to bed. You know, that was that was kind of like the start of it. My oldest boy is the one who set me down the path of being a dad. I'm not a great dad. Kind of feel like sometimes I'm not a good dad, but at least I'm a dad. I'm here. I'm present. I will make mistakes. We all do. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's why for a while there, when I kind of went down the rabbit hole of getting back into streaming, and then was doing my 6, 8, 10, 12 hour streams, I started to realize I was losing myself, and that's why I kind of backed off, because when the family was suffering because I was constantly with a headset sitting in front of a webcam talking to people for 6 to 8 hour streams on YouTube during the, 2020 when that thing was going around. I needed to back up. I needed to take time. I needed to be able to kind of get back to my family. And that's why streams have been kind of far and few between, because as I'm getting older and now there's grandbabies, I'm needing that time with the family and making connections with the little one, because 47 is just, 22 days away. And based on statistics, I'd like to see my grandkids. I would love it if I was able to be a great grandpa or a great grandpappy. My wife is hell bent on the grandbabies calling me grandpappy or pappy. So looks like I'll be pappy. So, which is fine. I don't care. I'm just excited, and when I hear them little ones speaking to me with the name Pappy or Papa or Grandpa or whatever it ends up being, whatever they end up deciding, I don't care. I'm just going to be excited to hear that, and maybe one day be a great grandpappy. Will I make it that far? Probably not. Based on family history, especially on my dad's side, probably not. But I want to enjoy the time I got. We don't get a whole lot, so I would like whatever I can get. So, your mom and dad wanted to be called Nana and Papa, yeah. On your wife's side, and it's just Grandma and Grandpa, yeah. Like I said, I mean, my wife has, like, the kids call her Mimi, and the reason being is because when my youngest was little, she couldn't say Sam, or we tried to get her to say Sam and she couldn't do it. Tried to get her to say Sammy and she couldn't do that. And when she tried to say Sammy, it came out Mimi, and Mimi just stuck. And for those who don't know, Mimi is grandma. So, but Mimi just stuck. And so, all, like, the kids all, like all the nieces, nephews, and whatnot, everybody calls her Mimi, except for our kids, of course. It's either Sam or Mom. When Sam and I got married, we told the kids flat out, like, we love you. We're not going to force you to call us something that you're not comfortable calling us. If you want to told the boys, if you want to call Sam Mom, that's up to you. You guys are able to make that decision for yourselves. And I told Sam's girls, I said, I'm not your dad's. I'm not going to be your dad's. If you call me that, that's up to you. You make that choice. Otherwise, I'm comfortable being Dan, So they've always called me Dan, but the sentiment, like the sentiment is, they say, you're my Dan. So I've got that. Yeah, Keelan, I had all my grandparents and my parents, and all my grandparents have since passed. So I can't sympathize with, the not having a grandpa, and I'm sorry, but there's been this crazy. I guess tonight's more of like a open up and chat kind of a thing, maybe a little bit of a therapy session. Who knows? But, like, I had my grandparents, like both grandmas and grandpas. I had them. So I cannot sympathize directly. I'm sorry that you didn't have that, and in here I am sorry. It's not meant to be said in any kind of like a negative way. But to give you guys an example of what I'm trying to say, like my wife, her dad passed when she was 13, and she loved her dad, was a daddy's girl, always had him around. So she had her dad and had a very close connection with him. And I have a younger sister, and when our dad passed, December of 24, when our dad passed, we may have come from the same man, but we had two different dads. And what I mean is, I had a different version of the same man that she had. And the version I had, there was a lot more negative that I had. He went through some changes and made some changes in his life. And then my sister got a much different, more nurturing, more caring person. By that time, a large amount of time had passed. And again, not to speak ill or negative of anyone, but there were choices that were made on both sides. I won't say that I'm innocent and that I'm a victim of anything. There were choices made on both sides. Phones work both ways. But many years, to the tune of 30 years, I didn't really talk to him. I mean, maybe a handful of times in 30 years. And you know, in the end, I tried to have a close with him. I tried to be able to like sit and talk and have like some closure. And I will just say someone had to pollute that, had to be toxic about that, had to make that had to not give the one thing that was needed was not gotten because one person was not very didn't have their finger on the pulse when it came to read the room and try to figure out that 30 years had gone by for myself and my younger brother. We didn't get what all the other siblings got. You may also have been part of that, and by a part of that, I mean you may have been a big part of why we didn't get 30 years with this person. You know, with our dad, we didn't get that 30 years. We just wanted to be able to say goodbye and be there when he goes and have some kind of positive closure. We didn't get that. So that kind of, you know, I don't want to say it tore me up or messed me up because I didn't have, again, 46 now, I was 45 when that happened. So 30 years out of 45 means 15, you know, 15, 16 is roughly around, I mean, 18, I guess, is when I moved back home, or I moved back to his house when I was 18, but we never saw each other. Like, basically, we were like coexisting roommates. Like, I was either in my room or gone, and you know, when he was at work, if I was home, you know, one of those situations. So, like, we never really like coexisted in the same space at the same time. But about 15, 16 would have been around the end of when I actually kind of like talked to him. But because I had a larger amount of time without him than with him, his passing didn't hit me in the way that it probably should have. I mean, how do I say this? I didn't cry when he passed. I was upset. You know, I was upset that he was gone because my opportunities to have, you know, try and rebuild are now gone. But I didn't have a close connection with him. You know, so when my wife and like my wife and sister will talk when they're having their kind of like down in the dumps, we miss our dad moments. They'll talk, you know, because they had a connection with their dad. They had that. So for them, their dad's being gone has more meaning to them than me and my brother. Our dad passed and we had 25, 30 years without him. So a larger chunk of our life was without him than with him. So we never built an actual relationship with him. When your dad passes, you'll mourn for what should have been and not what was. I understand that, Howie. I get that. And but that's kind of where I was at. So you never knew the difference, yeah. Your mom's mom, she cray cray, but you love her, yeah. But see, but that at least, hopefully that helps you guys to understand. Like, if I tell you I don't understand something, but I feel for you. Understand that I truly do feel for you. You know, like when my wife is down, I'm there to hold her and tell her, you know, I understand you miss your dad. I'm here, talk, and I just sit and listen. You know, there's not much you can say, because at least there's not much I can say, because I have a disconnect. Let's just put it that way. I have a disconnect. So I cannot sympathize with her. I can be there to comfort her, to listen, and to give her whatever I am able to, but I don't have the ability to sympathize with her. And at least I know that. You know, there are some people who don't know that, and they try to sympathize, and all they do is say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and make more problems. So instead of doing that, I try to just sit and listen. If she asks me something, I will tell her, honey, please understand that I don't have the same situation as you. I don't know, you know, how you're feeling. I don't know what's going to be the right thing to say. You know, I don't want to say something to upset you. And then if the response is just please talk to me, I will say something, because I know she just wants to hear words. But if it's I understand, just hold me, bam, there you go. We know that she understands that even in her fragile state that I cannot say something that's going to be right. So just hold each other in silence, and there you go. So maybe that little tidbit will help somebody else down the road. I don't know. But we are in 2026. It is a new year. Maybe a little more heartfelt, sentimental Dan might come out. You know, I'll still potentially be the same ignorant smartass that I've always been. You guys will love me or hate me, but you'll still come back, because you're like, what's he going to say next? But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in my life, and there's going to be a lot more going on in my family. So there's a lot of confusion in my head right now. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of confusion, not because of the grandbaby situation, just in general. I mean, we already opened up about the second grandbaby, so let's open up about. I've spent 9 years at the current public school that I'm with. The current public school has a new superintendent, and sorry, my knee. There's a new superintendent, and the new superintendent is not a bad guy, but like the former superintendent, I think I might need to spread my wings. There is another school about 20 minutes closer to my house that is currently looking. I did put a resume in there. There's also a company that's into, I wouldn't say green energy, but they make ethanol for fuel, and also some medical grade. They're getting into, like, or have been getting into, like, medical grade, like sanitizers and stuff using their ethanol, as well as they're looking to get into things like blue hydrogen. And they own a massive chunk of land, and they're only 15 minutes from my house. My understanding is they're looking for an IT guy, or they have recently hired 2 IT guys. And the job they're looking to get done is still not getting done. So they're very well could be looking to dig into the resumes again. So I may have submitted my resume. So maybe a job change is coming. I don't know if there's going to be a job change, but there could be. I can tell you that the other school needs to either match or beat my current salary. And then the other company that's closer to home, I believe, with my experience and with everything, I'm sure that'll be actually closer to home and a pay raise. If I'm considered for it, I don't know, but we'll see. You know, we'll see what the future holds. Let's see here. Hold on, your father passed away a year ago. Keela, your dad, when he passed, When your dad passed, Keela, was that wasn't that around the same time as my? Oh no, your dad passed in, was it 25? I'm only asking because I'm having a hard time remembering a lot of the last year. Um, Howie, the company that I'm talking about is Marquis Energy. I'm not afraid to tell you guys. I live near Marquis Energy in Hennepin, Illinois. Michael Cassell, good to see you, man. It was earlier last year. So yeah, it was after my dad had passed, because my dad passed in December of 24, and then I think it was what, January or February of 25, wasn't it? She just looks 25. Built over bot. But yeah, so Howie, it's Marquis Energy is the name of the company. Mostly ethanol, and then they also, um, like I said, they're getting into. Um, they've been making like hand sanitizer stuff in 2020 when there was that big boom in degermifying things. They got into making hand sanitizer and some other stuff for medical purposes. And they also, my understanding is at some point we'll be putting in or be setting up for blue hydrogen. Don't ask me what the difference is between with blue hydrogen. I don't know. All I know is they bought up a large chunk of land in the town of Hennepin, actually outside the town of Hennepin, because the more land they own, if the place should happen to have a catastrophic event, um, that means the less damage done to stuff that's not their property. If their property gets damaged in a catastrophic event, it's less the insurance would have to pay, and they own a shitload of land now. Trying to help you out, you know. Oh, okay, Build a Robot. Sorry. You have a ring container that makes their packages, okay, or packaging. Nice. Oh, sorry to hear, brother. Just food and retail. Okay. Yeah, your dad passed in January. Yeah. Yeah, Michael, and I know you, especially like you and your situation, man. Like you did have some form of a relationship with your dad. Like you had that. So again, I apologies. I'm not trying to be non-sympathetic. It's just that, like I said, when it comes to like my mom, that'll be a different story. Like if like my mom will live forever. Okay, let's just put it that way. My mom will live forever. That's never going to happen to her. But if it does, that will probably break me because um, I will probably cry. I probably the reason I say probably, guys, is I have a hard time with crying in general. Like legitimately, there are things that like tear me up, and I want to cry, and I can feel my eyes like well up, but nothing ever comes out. Um, but that will probably be one of those times where I actually cry. I may not do it in front of my family. I may have to hold my shit together because I know my sister and my brother will probably be, losing theirs. So I'll have to hold it together. Big brother, I got to do the big brother thing. But I will, I'm sure I will have a moment, and I'm sure I may just outright disappear for a little while if I'm still streaming at that time, because it'll be forever from now. So I'll be old and forgotten by then. I'm quite certain I will be old and forgotten because the internet will move past me. Um, but that's okay. I will enjoy the ride while I'm on. And when the time comes and it's time to exit the roller coaster, I will graciously step away with a tip of the hat and tell you all to have a wonderful life. See you on the other side, and then we will exit the cart. And I'm sure you'll see me in chats and stuff elsewhere. I'm pretty sure, like hemorrhoids, I won't go away forever. People grieve in many different ways. You are correct, Keela. And it's I'm not a perfect person. I don't know how many times I can say that. I'm not a perfect person. Um, I don't necessarily make good or bad choices, but I do make choices with good or bad outcomes. But I make a choice, just like the rest of us. We all make choices. And good or bad, they are the choices we make. The only thing you can do is learn from your mistakes. And I have to say something. When you succeed at something, being a cocky prick about the fact that you were right or that you got something, like you did something, being a cocky prick does not make you a good person. It makes you look like a douchebag. I'm not telling you that it's not okay to be excited or happy for the fact that maybe the achievement you've been working towards has finally come to fruition. But if you like belittle those around you because look how great I am and look what I did and look how dumb you are because you didn't know this thing that I spent the last 5 years studying to become, you just look like an arrogant dick. So learn to humble yourself, okay? Let your accomplishments speak for themselves. You really don't need to inflate your own ego. And if you need to inflate your own ego, then you need to reevaluate some things, because I say this nicely, but you're not a good person. So, I mean, we all kind of joke with one another. Like when we figure something out before the other ones, we all joke with one another. But that's because we're friends. And there's a difference between friends joking around with one another, like messing around with one another, and just outright douchebaggery. Like, you're a douche, you're a douche. And those are the kinds of people I don't want in my life. So I say that to not connect it to the next thing I'm about to say. But I find those that I am closest to are the ones I protect the most. That's not a jab at any one of you, but my family is number one. Like, I take care of the ones that I live with, that I support, that I am here with every day. Those are my family. And then I have my internet family. I have you guys, and you guys are my family. And those of you that come to these streams and hang out and we talk and we bullshit, and maybe we're on Discord, maybe it's a phone call every now and then, just like, hey brother, how you doing? Or maybe it's a random text message or Facebook message or Discord message, just a hey, Merry Christmas. Those of you who take the time out to remember me and include me, I try to reciprocate and give that back to you, because I know that you're reaching out to me because we're friends, we're family, we are like the crazy second cousins or something, but we're still family, and I still love and support you guys as much as I can whenever I can. And then you've got the ones that appear, they say or do a bunch of things and then disappear. And then maybe they'll reappear once in a while and say and do a bunch of things, and then they disappear. Those aren't friends. Those aren't family. Those aren't friends. Those are internet acquaintances. And then you've got the just total dick bags that come in here, drop some ignorant shit, and then bounce out. And fuck those guys, like, straight up. See ya. Don't care. The only opinions that matter are mine, my family's, and obviously when it comes to, stuff within this community, you guys, the ones that are here hanging out, listening to this shit. And I'll be honest with you, if you're sitting here wondering if I'm talking negatively about any of you, if you're still here, you're not one of the ones I'm talking negatively about. Because if you're still here, then you're what I'm talking about when I say you're my extended family. Like, you are still someone that I look after, I care for, and I worry about, and I want to make sure you're okay. And if there's something going on in your family and you need someone to talk to, if you have my cell phone number, you call me. If you have my cell phone number, you can text me. My email is easy to find. You can always send me an email, but usually you got me on Facebook, you got me on Discord, you got my phone, you can call or text. You have ways to reach out to me, and if you need to, you do that. You don't hesitate. However, I will tell you something. If your printer's broke, watch a fucking YouTube video. Don't call me and ask me how to fix your printer. You're in this community for a reason. Find the answer. But on the personal side, like, if you need someone, if your life is falling apart, or you feel like your life is falling apart and you just need an ear to bend, I got 2 of them. Give me a call. You know, I will never turn any of you guys away. You guys sit here and watch these streams, you listen to me talk. Sometimes it's deeper shit like this. Sometimes it's just me sitting here and we listen to my daughter or wife, or my wife and daughter, like, cackling on about something, and we all have a good laugh. But yeah, I mean, like, no, if you guys need me, I'm here. And you guys don't realize how much you give to me. And I know it seems cliche because a bunch of fucking YouTubers are putting out videos right now talking about their year in reviews and how, you know, they wouldn't be where they were if it wasn't for you guys. And it's the cliche bullshit, but it's true. Like, I wouldn't be, like, if one guy showed up to my streams every day for a year and nobody else, it would be a hard dose of reality for me to realize that I just need to talk to that person outside of YouTube and not make videos or streams, I should say, not stream and talk to you guys this way, because I just talk to that person one-on-one. But more and more of you have come to the streams over time. More and more of you have been invested in my life and what's going on. Projects that we work on occasionally. I know, hey, asshole, you don't really do 3D printing. You do more talking than anything. No, I know. It's 2026. Let's get into the year. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the channel will start making enough money to afford projects that we can do on stream. Hopefully I can get the motivation to work on these things and do stuff on stream, or even make content and just put out an actual video. Because for as easy as it is to install Open Centauri on that thing, I'm thinking I could probably edit it into a short. Like a 60-second short. It's that fucking simple, guys. And I've already got the R rating for this stream, so I'm going to enjoy the fact that I can drop some F-bombs. I was trying to be nice, but then emotions got the best of me and some F words came out, and now this is an R stream, so yeah. Sometimes that is a fine line, though. You are correct, built over bot. You are right. It is a fine line when it comes to the, you know, yeah. Like that Maker Viking dude, he's an asshole. Yeah, but he's a lovable asshole. Words are cheap. Friends you know, or friends you will know them by their deeds. Yes. People put their energies into what's important to them. Correct. You know, you've been MIA lately from most of the streams. Life has been a whirlwind, but we love you. Hey, I love you guys. Keela, you know, you and Jeremy, you know, you and Jeremy started streaming way after me. Well, let me rephrase this. Jeremy started streaming way after me, and his channel blew up, and you joined him, and the two of you together have made that channel into something amazing. And I may not always comment, and I may not always be there, but I lurk a lot when I can. A lot of times, you know, it's either sitting in the living room with the family, so I just load up the stream and I'm watching it on my phone, or listening with my phone propped up right here, just listening to you guys while I'm watching TV with the wife and the kids. So I'll have the phone. This is me when I tell you guys, like, if I'm with the family and I'm lurking on a stream, this is me. Streams on. Look at my beautiful wife. Look at that hottie. Oh yeah. But anyway, the phone will usually be like right here, and I'm sitting on one chair with the phone here, stream playing in one ear, watching and listening to everything else over here. So that is what I'm doing. So I do lurk a lot more. Probably should, you know, balance time a little better, but like I said, my family, like the family I'm here with is my family, and with the soon to be, for those who missed it, I'll say it again. My 16-year-old daughter is with child, so we are going to be grandparents again. Um, so, and I will say this much: if you have a negative thing to say about that, then fuck you, have a nice day, get the hell out. You don't need to be here, because that's my 16-year-old daughter. She made a choice. We are going to love and support her. You don't agree with that, you don't need to be here. Negativity need not apply. Just saying. Again, to rehash, do we wish it would have happened later? Yes. Did it? No. Can we be mean and angry and ornery like a lot of parents do when they find their children having babies? We could, but why? What's it going to do? What's it going to change? Absolutely nothing changes. She's still going to be in the situation she's in. That's not going to change anything. Love and support and nurture. That's what we're choosing to do. We love our daughter. We're going to love our grandchild. Baby Blueberry is what we've been calling it now, because it's about the size of a blueberry. So we've been calling it Baby Blueberry. But we love our daughter. The young man that is on the other end of this, again, like I said, very respectful young man, gets out of the car. Every time he comes to pick up my daughter, he gets out of the car, comes around and opens her door, even though I'm standing right there. He still gets out, comes around, says hello. We talk for a few minutes. He opens the door. She gets in the vehicle. He closes the door, and off they go. He opens the door for her. He takes care of her. He is nice to her. He tolerates the crazy that is my daughter, that many of you have heard on stream. And this young man is willing to want to be a part of her life. Why would I want to push him out of her life? That baby in there does not deserve to not have a mom and a dad. Why would I want to separate them? Why would I want to push them apart? That makes no sense. When my oldest boy was born, my first set of in-laws did not like me, could not stand me, and did everything they could to push me out of, or tried to push me out of, their daughter's life and my oldest boy's life. They tried everything in their power, including getting in my face while I was holding my son and threatening to beat my ass. They did everything they could. Thankfully, I wanted to be a dad worse than they wanted to beat my ass, because I'm still here. I raised my boys. My boys know the right way and the wrong way. And thankfully, I have gotten very lucky. Both of my older sons, who are in committed relationships, neither of them's married yet. Second oldest boy is the one who made us grandparents first, but they respect their women. They take care of their women, and they're always there for their women. So I think I did a damn good job. So, yeah, I mean, Keela, there's more to my backstory that I just don't want to talk about. Um, there's more to my backstory I just don't want to talk about. But I can truly sympathize with my daughter and this young man, and I definitely want to support them. Yes. Want to be with you. You just had to find a crazy, or a level of crazy, that you could love. Nice. JC, not really. I circled back around, but I was talking about a bunch of stuff. But we just kind of did a cliff notes to kind of catch up those who came in late as to what's going on. So, but yeah, tonight's not really a 3D printing stream. This is 2026 and we're just hanging out. I still want to get some more time with Open Centauri here before we install Open Centauri here, or we flash this back to stock, reinstall Open Centauri, and then kind of see if Open Centauri is going to stick. Let's put it this way. If Open Centauri turns out to be good and I like it, it'll stay here and we'll install it here. If Open Centauri maybe not so great, maybe I don't see enough in Open Centauri right now that I want to stick with it, maybe we just uninstall it, put this back to stock, and then we reinstall it on here, and then I'll have this machine with Open Centauri that can hopefully grow with Open Centauri and get better. Well, this one stays on stock and just runs. And then, again, if anybody's feeling... let me do the YouTuber thing real quick. Ready? Hold on. Hi, I'm Dan. This is Making My Nexus. If you're new to the channel and you just heard a bunch of shit, you try to figure out what this is about. I sometimes make 3D printing content. I like to talk a lot. Hi, I'm Dan. This is Making My Nexus. While you're here, if you would, feel like if you want to help me out, click the subscribe. If you like what you see, you can always become a member. You can always give some memberships if you want. My memberships have dwindled. It's okay. I understand. Save money if you need to. But if you wanted to give back to the community, feel free to give some memberships. Always a righteous way to go about it. Super chats, things like that. Feel free to do those if you'd like. Stickers, things like that. Go ahead. Otherwise, hit that like button. You can also hit the dislike if you want. I don't care. Doesn't hurt my feelings if you dislike the stream. I get it. It's not for everyone. So go ahead and let YouTube know you dislike the stream. Any interaction is good interaction as far as I'm concerned. That also being said, there are some links to PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo down in the description if you want to help financially. Feel free to help financially today versus later on. That being said about the financially help me part, there is an opportunity to get a third Centauri carbon right up there. Gosh darn it. This camera is just crazy sensitive sometimes. But there is an opportunity to add a third Centauri carbon up there where my lab racks is. This guy right here is my lab racks. Little 10-inch 3D printable rack. But there is a opportunity to put a third one right here for $250. So if you have $250 burning a hole in your pocket and you want to help me, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, send it there. And just say, get that carbon, and then I will send the message to my coworker that has it and say, bring it Monday. I'm sending you cash today. Cash today. Otherwise, it'll probably be maybe February when I can actually get it, if they still have it. They may sell it between now and then, but, you know. He just said 7.6, so 8 was pretty on the point. Okay, so you guys all know the 6.7, and how many of you have seen the 8.9? I started messing with my daughters, and I started doing 4.5. So when they do 6.7, I do 4.5, and then if they get like smart, I'll do the 8.9. The 8.9. It's whatever, stupid things, Oh, 6.7. Sorry. My brain went to the stupid 6.7 thing. Sorry. But anyway, no, I do thank you guys for hanging out. I want to take a minute to say thank you, or a moment to say thank you, because I don't know that I'm wrapping the stream. If there's people still hanging out, currently it says 13 concurrent viewers and 45 views. So that's pretty freaking, it's become pretty normal even when I do this. So that's pretty awesome. I know that people care and that they want to be here. So I thank you for that. I also don't know. It could be a slow stream night. Nobody else might be streaming. I don't know. I don't know who's streaming, who's not. Yeah, you never tell your wife her real crazy number if you want to live, because my wife is off the charts. But I won't tell her that, because I want to live. Don't forget to lick the smash button. I know you said like, but I had to be a smart ass and say lick. Oh, looks like my wife and daughters are going to be home pretty quick. That was weird. They weren't really gone that long. About hour and a half, hour 45. Well, Joe, thank you, man. You're a pretty cool guy yourself. Probably a little cooler than me, but by a little, I mean a lot. But that's okay. I mean, I thank you for the kind words. And I hope that since the wife and munchkins are getting close, I probably will wrap this up so I can go in and see them. But I did want to, at least before I go, I want to tell you guys that I am honestly truly grateful for all of you guys being here over the years and continuing to just listen to this crazy bullshit that comes out of my mouth, good, bad, or indifferent. You stick with me, and I'm thankful for that. To the ones who have come and gone, I still wish them well. That's another one of those good, bad, or indifferent things. I still wish them well. I'm not going to wish anybody, bad things. But I do thank you guys greatly for the love and support over the years. Like I said, whether it be through the views, through the likes, through the comments, through busting my balls when I do something stupid. I know it's all done for the right reasons and not the wrong. And I'm hoping that in 2026 we'll make some useful content again, make some things that people want to view. I know some of the videos I've made in the past are still getting some pretty good watches. I make about 6 cents in ad revenue on videos that are 2 and 3 years old that I made when I was making some tutorial stuff. So, if I can make 6 cents a month on a video, that's pretty good for a guy my size. I'll take 6 cents in ad revenue. Thank you very much, YouTube, for giving me 6 cents for a video I did 3 years ago that initially wasn't monetized and now is. So thank you for that. But I am hoping, like I said, I'm hoping this week, this coming week, to get a little more hands-on with this, and then hopefully maybe end of this week or next week, probably next week. We'll just play it safe. Probably next week, we'll get this thing over here on the bench next to me. We'll run through the Open Centauri install. I will tell you guys that after I installed Open Centauri on this, I did rerun all the calibration stuff just as a safety. I didn't see in the documentation where they said to do that, but I still would rather rerun all of the calibration stuff, PID tunes, the bed levels, the input shaping. I rerun all of it just as a safety. So you're talking there's half hour, 45 minutes just to get through that process. So we'll go through a video doing the install part. I will try to remember to hit start record. I'll probably pull away all the overlay. The only thing that's up there is this right now, this guy right here. I'll probably pull that off so it's a nice clean video. Probably do a live stream. I'll say, hey guys, how you doing? We'll do a little like, hi, what's up? And then I'll probably, after that, we'll go into a, we'll go, okay guys, I'm getting ready to hit record. And then I'll hit record and we'll do kind of an intro, kind of like Pez Liz and Zombie do over on Twitch. So we'll probably do something very similar to that. Was it a pain to install, Joe? No, they made it like stupid easy now. I'll tell you right now how easy it is. If I find the link, I'll post it too before I end the stream. But legitimately, you download a zip folder, extract it to your desktop, pull the SD card out, plug the SD card in. There's like a couple files that there's one folder you pull into the root of the USB, plug it into the printer, you go into your files, go into the folder, and then there's a G-code file. You don't run it, you don't click it and print. You hold down on it, and then you click import file. Once you import the file, and there's once it imports, you get a pop-up on the screen that says, I think it says like download from web or install from web or something like that, or install from the internet or something. You tap that and you wait. The printer will tell you that everything is done and it needs to restart. You can tap restart on the screen. The printer will reboot. And when it comes back up, you'll see the Open Centauri screen. And then it'll sit there for a little bit. And then it will come back up to the Elegoo screen. And then after that, it comes all the way up. Then you can go in and double check and see that you are running the OpenCC firmware. It's that simple. Like they finally got through all of the hard stuff. You did not know USB had roots? Yes. It is crazy though. Like they made it super easy. You then, after you reboot or after you do all that, you end up with SSH access. You can get in. And then there's a lot of like back-end SSH stuff you have to do, or not have to do, but basically it's functioning at that point. Then there's some options where you can install Python and Git. So there's some steps to go through to install Python and Git. And then once you get those done, then you're able to grab other third-party stuff and bring it in. I have not gotten to that point yet. I just got Open Centauri installed, ran through the I got it installed, ran through the calibration stuff again. I did the PID and all that, and then I ran a couple of prints. This guy, the old Dapper Dan duck from Built Over Bot. This one does have a little, the print quality leaves a little bit to be a little bit. This is what it looks like with the stock firmware. This is in red, of course. Print quality is a little bit better on this guy on the stock firmware right now. But this filament too, I have had some issues with. I think I'm going to load the red back in and then reprint one of these guys in the red. The red prints differently than that Army Beige, I believe is what this one is. The Panchroma, I believe it's Army Beige. But I think I'm going to reload the red in there and then print it in red and have them side by side to see. I do know that in the setup guide, there was a part that did talk about, let me see here. I'm going to see if I can find the link for you. We need to go into history. And then let me find the Open Centauri stuff. I was looking about possibly going to Rocky Mountain, but I don't have I wouldn't necessarily have the time off. Okay. Find slicer with G code. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. Copy this real quick. But I don't have the time off to go. If I could get somebody to sponsor the trip, I would be willing to take the time off. I'd be willing to take dock time, which is non-paid. But I kind of burned through all my vacation time taking Christmas break off. But I needed some time away from work. So I feel good. Monday will get here, we'll go. Let's see here. That link gets you to the actual like page. And then let's see here. Then the actual installer portion of it is under the, let me grab this. This here, Joe, is going to be the page you're going to want to go to. The install steps, let me do this real quick. We haven't ended the stream yet. So when you go to that link, you're going to scroll down to where it says installation online. You download this folder. Make sure you use a FAT32 formatted USB stick. So pull the stick out of the printer and plug it in. You're done. Use the USB that came with the printer. You should be good. You extract the install_Open Centauri folder from the OC_OC-installer.zip onto the root of the thumb drive. I just saved it to my desktop, unzipped it on the desktop, and then just copied and pasted this folder into the flash drive. Then you eject the thumb drive from your PC, insert it in the Centauri Carbon. On the Centauri Carbon, navigate to the Files tab, then tap the USB drive in the menu at the top, tap where it says USB, and then you'll tap on the open or the install_Open Centauri folder. You'll tap the folder, or you'll tap and hold on the import me to the printer file, then tap import. Once that's done, it'll come up and you just say install Open Centauri Online. That's what it says. Install Open Centauri Online, and then restart when the process is finished. Does it say restart on the screen? You just tap restart, and then it's done. They've made it stupid simple. Like, it is insanely easy to do. Like I said, that whole process right there, I will probably, to be honest with you, make a short and post it as a short, just saying, this is how easy it is to install Open Centauri these days, guys. So if you want to do it, here's how you do it. And I'll make it a quick little, like, short. You know, I'll just record me plugging the USB in. Then I'll record me downloading the file and then extracting the file and then copying the file and then plugging it into the printer and going through the steps. And then, okay, now it's going to install, so we'll be right back. I'll be like, all right, it's installing. And then we'll pause. And then when the Open Centauri screen pops up, we'll unpause and record the Open Centauri screen. And then we'll pause. Then we'll wait for the Elegoo screen and be like, okay, it's almost there. And then boom. And then I'll go into the menu and show you where it says OpenCC, or I believe it says either OpenCC or OCC or something like that for the firmware. So I'll go through that process and make it into a short. It, like, legit it's something that can be explained in less than 60 seconds. However, there is the wait time of downloading the file, installing the file, rebooting the printer, coming back up, going through the initial first boot under the new firmware. So there's those things. This part right here where it says modify the machine start and end code, all I did was copy that and paste it in Orca Slicer. I just clicked on that link. It brought up the start and end codes. Copy it, just paste it into the start and stop. You can create a whole new, like, save a new profile with it if you need to, just so that you can default back if you default the firmware back. I happen to have multiple Open Centauri, or I have multiple Centauri Carbons, and they both have their own name with Wi-Fi connections. So if I need to, I can go back to the factory one, copy them, and paste them back in if I do end up defaulting back to stock. And then there is, like I said, they made it like stupid simple. It's 8 steps to install. So I definitely recommend, if you're comfortable and have other printers in case you do something silly, do it. Joe, I cannot say yes or no for sure. If I do, it'll probably be like a one-day thing. I can't afford hotels and hotel stays and all that. It would be a drive out in the morning, like get up at like 3 a.m. like I did last year. I was up and on the road by 3 a.m. I was in Goshen, Indiana by 7:30, sitting in the parking lot, just hanging out, waiting. I was actually there when the transformer blew. I was sitting there watching heard the pop, and then watched the fan doors, the exhaust doors at the top of the building close. And I was like, oh, that ain't good. And then I saw the guys out walking around, and I was like, we went inside and just kind of walked around the event in the dark till 10:30. And then that's when the power came back on. And then by, I think it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I was back in my car and on the road by about 7, and home by, it was like a midnight. I got home at like 11:30 midnight. So maybe a one-day thing, you know. Joe, I might take you up on that, man. I might take you up on that. We got some time. June ain't coming up for a while yet, man, but I may take you up on that. You know, it'd be kind of fun, if nothing else. Work Friday, get off work Friday, drive, haul ass out there Friday night, hang out with you Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday evening, load up and haul ass home, so I'm back to work by Monday morning. Because, like I said, I burned through all my vacation time and all that stuff, and that usually doesn't restart until July 1st. So if I stay with the current job I'm at, July 1 would be when I get all my vacation time and stuff. However, if I can get lucky enough to move to another job and they give me all the vacation time and whatnot right out the gate, school schemes suck. Yes, they do. Wish you were going to Murph or 3D Printopia. Yeah, Viking, it would be great. I think that, honestly, with you getting 3D, or with you getting Tinker Atlas up and running, I think that, let me wrap the stream. You and I need to talk Discord outside of like public chat. I don't want to put anything out there and put words in places it shouldn't be. Oh, schedules, yeah. School schedules suck, yeah. And that's the thing, working for a public school and being a 12-month employee, I don't get June and July off. I have to be there June and July. I'm a 12-month employee. I work all summer long. And the rules during the summer are get 8 hours a day for those days you're supposed to be there. So I usually in the summer, I shift my hours, and I usually work 6 to 2:30 in the summer instead of 7 to 3:30. So I usually work 6 to 2:30 in the summers, get out of there by like 2:30, home by like 3:15, 3:30, usually in the summers. So if that be the case, that Friday leading up to Midwest, I could even work a couple of longer shifts, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and get an extra 2 hours in those 4 days. And then I could potentially have Friday off because of the overage on the other 4 days. So realistically, I could wake up Friday morning, load my car, and roll out. As a public school tech, yeah. Feel the pain? Yeah. Yep, I am the technology director for a public school. That is my paying gig. This is my for me for fun, and if it makes me some money, great. Is to get Tinker Atlas financed every month first, though. He. You're available in Discord when you end the stream. Okay, well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up because I do want to talk to Viking, and the family did pull up. I did hear doors closing outside. So I do thank you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope 2026 turns out to be amazing. If you hit like a wall this year, remember, just keep pushing. Sooner or later, that son of a bitch is coming down, and there'll be something better on the other side. Positivity. Think positive. Push. You'll get there. So I've been pushing for years, and I'm still going to keep pushing. Sooner or later, that wall's coming down, and it's going to be amazing. But until then, we're just going to keep pushing, keep smiling, and hope for the best, you know? Thank you, Howie. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a good one. Stay out of trouble, stay out of jail. Happy 3D printing and all those things. And don't forget, I make mistakes so you don't have to. Bye, guys. Talk to you guys. Don't exactly know, but I'll talk to you guys later.